invested.
Welcome to another episode of Invested, where we talk about the ever-evolving world of the creator economy and our $17 million Regulation A crowdfund at Start Engine. I'm your host, Isaac Hayes III, and to my far left is Noah Washington, head of comms and partnerships at Fanbase. And today, we are joined by Mandii B. Let me tell you about Mandii B. A creator who refuses to play it safe, Mandii B has built a name for herself by saying what many are afraid to say, using humor, honesty, and a whole lot of confidence to push the culture forward. As co-host of Decisions, and host of Selective Ignorance, Mandii B dives into the real stuff from sex and relationships to self-worth and success, challenging how women see themselves and the world around them. Her work centers on empowerment, authenticity, and living life on your own terms. Welcome, Mandii B, to Invested.
Hey,
Yeah,
I like that. I like that intro.
Yeah.
You only forgot one thing.
What?
I'm also a New York Times bestseller.
Oh, and a New York Times bestselling author. We got to give credit for that.
Listen, that was the tough part.
Really?
That was very tough, yeah. And because of the content of the book, I don't think the publisher or many people thought we would be able to break that barrier and get that title. It's very hard. Less than 1% of authors get to say that they're New York Times bestsellers.
Oh, well, congratulations.
So it was a huge thing. Yeah, I got it tatted on my hand. Huge feat. Something that Weezy and I wanted as an accomplishment for the book. The book was a long process to get done. And yeah, just another thing that I almost feel like I manifested. So.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
So, sir.
Yes.
Tell them why we're here.
Yeah, why?
We're here for two reasons: to have an amazing conversation, but we're also talking about investing in Fanbase. Our $17 million Regulation A crowdfund closes December 18th. That means after December 18th, you will no longer be able to invest in Fanbase at the current valuation of $160 million. Mind you, this year we've gotten over 1.4 million users. We're about ready to launch our brand new algorithm. We hired a bunch of amazing new people, including a product owner. We got two new advisors. We have data scientists working on the algorithm. So if you don't go to startengine.com/fanbase right now, you might be mad after December 18th because we keep growing, and the platform keeps elevating. So the minimum to invest is $399. Also, anybody that invests gets this. I'm gonna put this bling, this green verified profile badge. No matter what round you've invested in, it shows that you believe in Fanbase before anybody else, and that you are an investor in Fanbase. So go to startengine.com/fanbase to invest. And if you're in Canada, go to frontfunder.com/fanbase. That's FRONTFUNDR/fanbase to invest the same way. Let's get to it.
So, something that's near and dear to our hearts that we talk about often in this office is local politics.
Yes.
Tomorrow is Tuesday, November 4th. It's time to get to the polls, sir. Yeah. We have several great people running. Sam Foster running for mayor of Marietta, where he's going to try to beat the long incumbent mayor of Marietta, who's been there for about 10 years.
15 years.
15 years, yeah, Jesus. But unfortunately, as opposed to national elections, local elections are often dismissed. Why do you think that's a thing?
Because sometimes the people that live locally are not always from the city that they live in. So you got to think half the people that probably live in Atlanta aren't even from Atlanta.
Famous for that.
And so that leaves room for a vacuum of people that don't necessarily engage in politics. You got to think most people either get up, go to work every day and don't even think about who the mayor is. They just have their job and don't even think about it. But in Atlanta, we've made a big deal about using politics to build wealth and community, especially with Black people. So Andre Dickens is up for re-election. Do not sleep, guys, because again, anything can happen with these fools. Make sure you guys get up and go vote for Andre Dickens. I also need you guys to get up and go vote for Marcy Overstreet for city council president. And as Noah mentioned, Sam Foster for mayor of Marietta, Georgia. 24-year-old Sam Foster, trying to be the first Black mayor of Marietta, Georgia, battling a 15-year incumbent old guy that hasn't done anything for the city in a long time. So Marietta, make sure you get out and vote.
It's interesting. I just also think there's a lack of education about local local elections. Like, this is the most in my lifetime I've seen so many people even talk about local elections, right? Mandii in New York is almost a national, even global conversation.
You up in New York?
Yeah. It's interesting because I'm one of the people you talk about. I now live in Atlanta, but I'm still fully registered in Florida as a voter. And I've always felt it was just important because Florida is Florida, that my vote stays strong and dear in a state that is raggedy. But it's been really interesting now leaving New York. I was there for 13 years and seeing how invested so many people are in the local elections that's happening there. You have Cuomo, you have Mandii, and you have, who's the third one?
Silwa.
And it's just really interesting because it is a blue state. And what has happened in that city post-pandemic with all the rent rises and things like that, it's interesting because you really hear now the conversations of the people of New York City versus the corporations of New York City. And that's kind of what's battling right now with what the election is for. Who's paying taxes? Who's really getting helped? And it's just interesting because I think more than ever with Trump being in office as well, we're seeing the clear divide between America and the haves and have-nots, the regular citizens and the people who, you know, exist as corporations. And it's just really interesting to see now.
Man,
It is.
I saw an interesting stat that the top 1% of the population of New York owns 49% of the wealth.
Yes.
I was like, Jesus.
It was crazy.
How 1% don't have 49% of the wealth? And that's, you know what, but someone also said that something very interesting, that when Mandii wins, I think I think people think he's gonna win, but when he wins, that a lot of the wealth, our businesses are gonna leave New York City because he's coming for the rich.
Which is right, exactly.
He's coming for the wealth.
And so that's why, I mean, it's interesting overall just seeing everything, especially like entering this fourth quarter right now and seeing all the layoffs that are happening across, you know,
We'll talk about that.
multiple industries. And then also right now with the government still being shut down, like I'm confused how we're still having an election with a government shutdown happening right now, but I'm ignorant to knowing a lot of how that works.
It's local election. So the federal elections, state elections are next year. So like governors. So this year's mayor, next year's governor, and then 2028 is president.
That's been the interesting thing that I saw too with like the SNAP. I know we might get into it, but SNAP benefits, certain states being able to reach into funding and all of those things. It's just really interesting seeing what's happening right now.
Ooh, let's talk. Well,
let's get into it a little more because I want to ask you a few more questions.
Okay, out the way.
So historically, it's always been the young that have prevailed, right? Martin Luther King, John Lewis, those were guys who were not yet 30 when they started their fight for civil rights. Sam Foster, who you guys mentioned earlier, was 24 years old. So seeing him step up, what do you believe that says about the next generation of leadership in Black and brown communities?
I think that I've actually started following him like a while ago when I first saw his campaign. And the one thing that I liked about what Sam was talking about is he actually had real solutions to problems. It wasn't like we said we're going to do something. He was addressing like the speed of government, the response time in which government responds. We say we're going to build something, and we say we're going to do something. We're not going to sit on a piece of land that IKEA, I guess, owns up there in Marietta for 10 years and not do anything with it. So the responsiveness of government was part of his campaign. Making Marietta affordable to live, where the current mayor didn't really care about affordability. And so I think that young people are taking control of their communities in ways that they are. I think Mandii is like, how old is he? He's like 30.
He's in his 30s.
He's in his early 30s. I just think I think we need young leadership all around.
All around.
Yeah, it's not.
There's just outdated views.
Outdated people.
I mean, well, yeah, no, they are outdated.
Old people.
Absolutely, they are outdated. Yeah, no, I agree with you.
Like Trump, how old is Trump? 80?
Let's see. He's
79.
79.
He's definitely up there.
Like what's the name?
Look, 79, right?
What's the name running for governor here in Georgia? I know a lot of people support him. I do, but he's like 78 years old.
Who?
One of the black candidates running for governor. I'm like, dog, I rock with you, but you 78.
That's old, yeah.
Bro, I mean, come on, man. Mitch McConnell falling down every 3 days, man. Like, it's something.
Well, and we see what happened with Biden and even his tenure in terms of his health and how that literally impacted who we have as president right now.
100%.
100% how they
should have got out of there. He should have got out of there.
He should have gotten his ass up out of there. And I mean, I get to like feeling silence or feeling like you couldn't speak. It's been interesting hearing Kamala speak post and blaming, you know, pretty much even her ability to campaign as president by him staying longer than he should have. I wish she spoke up sooner.
Yes and no.
Okay.
There's a lot of blame to go around in that situation.
There is.
Biden definitely should have stepped out of the way. But I also think, and this is a clear indication of what, if you really want to, from people that I know that were closer to the campaign, and even not that I was close to the campaign, but I had my own lens on what was going on. I knew what was happening. That she let a lot of people that don't look like us run her campaign.
Yeah.
She let a lot of people that she gave the power and the decision making to people to run her campaign, and those people were going around knocking on doors, paying millions of dollars for celebrities, sending out email flyers, and they weren't really tapping into technology. They weren't using the platforms like that. And then in the fourth quarter, it's like, let's go do Shannon Sharp, Charlemagne and it was way too late. It was already too late for that to happen.
I mean, but I think she was racing against the clock anyways. She just had a very short runway to campaign.
I disagree with that.
I think one of the things that unfortunately led to this whole thing falling apart was what Barack Obama had in 2008 was he had the cosign of the people. If you were to go to any street in Chicago and ask in 2005 who should be running for president, they all would have said Barack Obama. He was a local, man, I'm forgetting the term, but he gathered the people, right?
Yeah.
And so that was the other thing. She didn't have that cosign out of ignorance of what her position was
as a prosecutor. Yep.
So,
well, come on, guys. She was. Wait, first of all, we're talking about a prosecutor, a DA, attorney general of the state of California, a senator, and the vice president of the United States.
She was overqualified.
She was absolutely qualified, but she was a Black woman, and we're not going to get into my thoughts and how no one wanted to see.
We're actually going to get into that in a second, though.
See a Black woman be president, but you know,
it'll happen.
Yeah.
Do you think so?
Yeah,
I think it'll happen too.
A lot. Yeah, I mean, a lot of races are going to have to die, but yeah,
it's not even racist; it's misogynist. So I don't know if we see that in our lifetime, honestly.
No, we'll definitely see it in our lifetime.
A Black woman president.
Yeah, I definitely think we will. Listen, Jesse Jackson ran for president before Barack Obama did. It's just about who paves the way.
It's also about timing too. It's also about like what. Like, it's also like without like. I always think about the blessing of Al Gore not winning. If Al Gore would have won, we would have not gotten Barack Obama.
Okay.
So you never know the timing.
Okay.
If Al Gore would have run, there would have been no path for Obama to be president of the United States of America. The pendulum always swings in extremes.
Yes, it does.
So right now we way right.
We are way right now. We are
right.
It is bad.
It is right.
It is way bad.
And so it's gonna come back the other way. And usually when it comes back the other way, it's somebody that's more progressive. But there are differences now between now and then, which is like, we're buying voting, we're buying election machine systems, and we're buying apps, and we're buying platforms, we're buying TV stations and networks, and we're funding people with millions of dollars to go on college campuses and talk about white men are poor and they're undervalued and they're the minority and they're being treated unfairly, and that's the crazy shit.
All I'm saying is Barack Obama was the greatest economic mind of the 2000s. 2007, who do they call?
What?
Barack Obama.
Yeah.
So with that being said, any more thoughts before we move on to our next?
Just make sure you go vote. No matter what city you're in, get your ass up and go vote, because there's probably something on the ballot that affects you. It could be clean water. It could be the price because we got the referendum on how they're able to raise the price of electricity. Remember?
That is crazy.
Impacting actually West Midtown in Atlanta, Georgia the most.
Yeah.
Wow.
We got light bills. We need to pay these things.
Yeah, Georgia Power is something else, boy.
They are no joke.
They are, I don't know what's happening over there.
They're not playing no games. It costs a lot of money.
Before we move on to our next subject, sir, let's plug it one more time. Why are we here?
Take your behind. No, I'm kidding.
Hey, work it in, man.
Take your behind to startengine.com/fanbase and invest today. I'm letting time actually tell the story. There's not a day that goes by that somebody doesn't call me about something that's happening that's racist online, or somebody's getting fired from their job in media, and the necessity for people to actually own platforms. Women, men, black, white, whatever. We need to start owning these platforms rather than the oligarchs. And so go to startengine.com/fanbase and invest, get equity. There's a lot coming around the corner. And also this economic blackout that's happening from Black Friday to Cyber Monday, right? We're not buying anything, but the one thing that people say is support a black business if you are going to spend some money, but don't spend money at these large corporations. So I say buy somebody some stock for Christmas. If you want to give make one of your Christmas presents some stock in Fanbase for $399.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, there's this economic blackout happening.
So I saw, especially with Snap and like that there was a conversation about it online. I didn't know there was an actual.
There's really no organizer.
There's not. It's not organized. That's what I thought.
Yeah, there needs to be but a lot of people, they're already making the conversation is already being spoken.
Yeah, but I think I don't know how much an impact will be seen if there's not a focus on exactly where not to spend, like what we saw happen with Target this year, right?
Yeah.
Like that was in a specific targeted, no pun intended, organization that we chose not to spend at.
Yeah.
I don't know if just not spending across the board is going to have an indicator, knowing too that people also just don't have the money. We're in a recession and nobody fucking wants to say it.
Okay.
So I just don't think the idea of don't spend your money is really going to hit if we don't spend our money. A lot of people don't have the money to spend.
True.
So I think there's already it's going to be seen.
I'm not mad at that.
So let's get into this next topic. We alluded to it a little earlier, the CBS culling. So after weeks of rumors, CBS News confirmed a massive round of layoffs under its new editor-in-chief, Bari Weiss. Nearly 100 employees were cut, including 8 on-air hosts, all of them almost being women, half of them women of color. The network also disbanded its race and culture unit, a move many say speaks volumes about the direction of mainstream media is heading. I want to real quickly give a shout out to the AJC, who has not done that with their race and culture unit right now, UATL. They deserve a shout out. For now, yes, right. For not doing that. So shout out to them, right? Yeah. So going directly into it, Mandii, this question is for you. When you hear about women of color and on-air personalities getting laid off, what do you think that says to the state of diversity in media right now?
I mean, to me, it's interesting because I'm all for the women, the men, everyone just creating their own platforms. I guess kind of like what you said earlier. We are in a place where we're seeing DEI does not matter. Again, I don't know if people really care to hear opinionated Black women. We see people not want to hear. Tiffany Cross got let off from when she was on I believe it was CNN. No one wants to hear from Amanda Seales. People don't like opinionated Black women on air, which is why I want more people to have their own platforms. What I find interesting and what I would actually want to know is, of the layoffs, how many specifically from CBS were let go due to technology advancements and AI use? That's what I see as the problem right now. Like even with Amazon, they're letting go of 30,000 employees, and it's because of the use of AI and just certain jobs that were created during the pandemic no longer being a thing. Back to media specifically, you're bringing up CBS, but we're seeing it across the gambit with even ESPN. A lot of people are being let go. Not just Black women, it's Black men, it's white men. It's kind of what we even saw with Jimmy Fallon, to see that there's a lane where someone can come in and take a white man off TV. That was actually more terrifying to me to see, because it let us know like how all of us are disposable when we are working under somebody. And so for me, it's the urge for us to just create our own. Get your own platform. Build your own YouTube. Get your own fan base. Start your own thing. And I think seeing how Jimmy Kimmel could just be off air, that man it works for someone.
Let me jump in and say that the firings at CBS are definitely related to race and culture.
I mean, but CBS, this is they have what
so basically
channels and stations.
So basically Paramount is under CBS. And so
okay.
Paramount Skydance
is also letting go of a lot of people.
Skydance acquired Paramount.
Yes.
Which is David Ellison.
Okay.
Larry Ellison's son who owns Oracle.
Okay.
Is also the guy that recently acquired TikTok. And so what I try to explain to people is there is a purge that, like, we're at a state right now where the media was media to the side and social media was the fun thing.
Mm-hmm.
So photos, videos, dances, all that. And the news is over here in the news. And what we've seen is that over the last 10 years, 5 years or so, the news is coming through social media. So then we need to buy these platforms that disseminate information and control the narrative extremely like
especially us, because we're seeing what Elon has even been doing with X.
1000%. So with Paramount, David Ellison, even Bari Weiss, the woman that's coming in, it's a direct affront to saying we're about to get rid of all you black people. We're getting rid of race and culture, and we're going to talk about the things we want to talk about specifically. So you're not going to hear about, kids getting pulled out of apartment buildings in Chicago and zip tie. But we will talk about Charlie Kirk. We will talk about
But
that.
not surprising. And again, even going back or attaching this politically, in Florida, they're literally getting rid of critical race theory. They're trying to literally erase the history that we... What?
When you say that, though, hold
Yes,
on.
talk to me.
When you say that...
Yes.
Like, oh, it's obvious. But to most people, it's not.
Well, you know why? Because the same way somehow they convinced people that Project 2025 was just a bullshit piece of documents that came out the Reddit threads, and now we're literally seeing those be applied. It's where people don't have the ability to distinguish what they're being fed, to be brainwashed or think like people aren't thinking for themselves.
I don't think people.
Basically.
I don't think people, like, when I think about these types of moves, I don't think people think about the move behind the move.
Agreed.
So
Agreed.
it's like I posted my World Star clip this weekend where, like, people didn't know that a white company owns World Star Hip Hop called Media Lab AI. And so the point is that there's a white dude that owns the #1 hip hop website, cultural website on earth that dictates what black people primarily see about themselves and what white people see about black people. And when they have posts going up there saying, black woman sends $2,000 birthday gift back because she knows her worth. And it's a text message and you can't tell that it's real.
Yeah.
That's the part that makes it super, super dangerous. So
yeah,
my point is, like, we're at, you know how food has the nutritional facts of them now? We're at a point right now where every single site on the internet, we need to know the ingredients.
Not only that, it was really interesting to me to see in terms of how they're feeding us things. Everything that just took place in Jamaica with Hurricane Melissa. It was really interesting what was showing up about Hurricane Melissa. The hashtag had more AI videos than really the devastation that took place there. And I was like... You
want me to freak you out?
Please.
I'm going to freak you out. I said that, and I should have posted about this.
Because you do post about a lot of things. And
I should have posted about that. I'm not going to lie.
Okay.
When the hurricane was hitting Jamaica,
yes,
if you went on the Weather Channel, if you went on any of the weather maps, you could not see the hurricane.
No, it was crazy.
It literally would not appear on the map. It's back now. Now you can see the weather was literally gone. Like, you could not see the weather. And you know how you have the map. Because I think I recorded. You know how you show, like, the current weather, then it tries to predict it?
Yeah.
The only time that you could see the hurricane is when it predicted the future. But live radar and all the past, you could not see the hurricane. And I was like, why is this hurricane about to hit Jamaica and you can't find it on any weather map?
Oh, wow.
And I should have said something about it because I was like, nobody really made a big deal about this hurricane. It was a category 5.
The biggest, most devastating, most catastrophic hurricane to hit. And I agree with you. I feel like we all heard about it when it was hitting.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wait a second. I lived in Florida. You normally know days before
they talk about it like they make it a big event, like it's coming in 5 days, 4 days, 3 days. Bruh.
But yeah, it was disgusting to me how many AI videos I was seeing about, like, they had one where a person allegedly was in a plane and captured the hurricane from the plane window. That was fake. Then, of course, they had all these stingrays and sharks in swimming pools. And it was just like, it's just taking away from what's like everything that I was seeing was AI.
Fake.
And it was fake. And I'm like, no one really knows the devastation of what's really happening because they're just feeding us all this bullshit.
Right? We don't even know what's going on. I don't even know what's going on in Jamaica.
Yeah, no.
I don't know the current state of the island. I don't know the current state
You
of
have
the
to
government.
really dig to find, which to me is very telling. Yeah. And is it because it's an island fully made up of Black people?
100.
Yes. I'm like, this is really devastating how it's not showing us what the fuck is happening.
They saw the trajectory of the hurricane that it was going to go up out to the Atlantic Ocean. It was like, it ain't even coming close to the United States.
The next thing you know, it's hitting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really strange. I agree. And listen, I go down a lot of rabbit holes on the internet and I was just like, something ain't right here. Yeah.
There was no.
Okay, well, you saw what I saw.
No, I saw, not only did I see what you saw, but I was.
And you thinking what I think.
Yep. I was like, man, because you're not thinking about the move.
Yeah.
We don't think about the move behind the move of these media platforms. And so all these people getting let go, like the one guy, the Black guy that put the video out and said he got let go as a producer at CBS, and everybody that got fired was Black, and everybody that got reassigned was white.
I did see that.
And what happened to DEI? I thought it was about the most qualified individuals. No, the dude, his boss said no. It's the people I know.
You know what's crazy? I want to share some statistics on that, right?
Mm-hmm.
First is a report from Peer Research Group, a nonpartisan research study group. They said that Black news consumers think that local reporters and Black reporters do a better job at covering Black communities. So that's number one. Number two, it shows that in a study, right, African Americans make up 13% of the U.S. population. Top advertisers spend about $3.86 billion on Black interest media. So that means is that not only they're not going to get those advertising dollars anymore, but they're not even getting the right reporters to cover the news as it needs to be.
Because they don't want to cover the issues.
Yeah. But they're also turning down the money.
You're not going to cover the issues.
You're not covering the issues within the Black communities. Right. You don't need
the ads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So again,
they would literally turn down money.
So when you say, "Oh, it's obvious," most people don't see it like that. We don't see like the like people don't really connect the dots. Like, oh, this is a nefarious. A lot of the moves that are being made are intentional, calculated. And people are just assuming that World Star is World Star, and and Billboard magazine is Billboard magazine, and Rolling Stone is Rolling Stone, and all these news sites are just really telling the truth with dignity like they used to.
And they're not. But it's also interesting to me, especially in the podcast space. Me and my friends had talked about the drastic drop in money from advertisements coming in. Like, even because of all these companies removing DEI, which a lot of, let's be very clear, it was Black. It was supposed to be. It was
supposed to be Black.
It was supposed to be. And the shift in the companies that no longer have that, they're almost removing the need to spend with Black creators as well. So just the dip in how much money is going into podcasts and creators' pockets is completely different than what it was during the pandemic as well.
That's a gift and a curse.
What part?
The curse is that the dollars are less, but the gift is like you're pushing people into spaces where now they're independent journalists. You are definitely like, you are free to do what you want, talk about what you want on particular platforms, and make as much money as you possibly can, because you're still going to have to advertise to people. So if you're doing something as independent as, let's say, what Joe does with his podcast, I call him like I think Roland Martin and Joe, like those are the truly, truly independent people in the podcast space. Like Van's podcast is owned by Spotify
and the Simmons Network.
What about Don Lemon and Joanne Reed?
Yeah, they're recent. They're newer. I mean, Roland's been doing this for 6 or 7 years now. He's been independent. He started Black Star Network. So he's the kind of the pioneer. He was the first person to jump ship and say, like, I'm going to YouTube. And he's seen I'm glad that people are actually looking to him now. Like, now Roland's kind of getting the respect now that he's deserved for a while, because now the medium is shifted where people are saying, well, YouTube is the new television and not necessarily legacy media. And now he's been over there waiting, kind of like what I'm doing. We building Fanbase and waiting for the we're waiting for the other shoe to drop, and it's going to drop. And then when they do, everybody's going to be like, oh, and it was like, but you know, the people that know about Fanbase have been here and will continue to use the platform. But, you know, race and culture, out the door.
You know what?
Race and culture.
That's a good segue to tell the people why we're here.
We're here to continue to scale Fanbase and close our $17 million Regulation A crowdfund on Start Engine. The raise closes December 18th. The minimum to invest is $399. That gets you 60 shares of stock in Fanbase at a value of $665 a share. This is not a donation. This is not GoFundMe. This is not anything like that. This is actually you sitting on the cap table of a tech company that otherwise you would not have been able to do because of the law that existed, that changed. And so now non-accredited investors can invest in private businesses. And that's how we've been able to raise over $23 million. I'm going to raise these last $4 million before December 18th. So make sure you're a part of that and go to startengine.com/fanbase and invest. You
want to introduce the next one, talking about AI, racism, and SNAP benefits.
Oh boy. So let me have fun with this one. I think this is really, really, I had to make sure that I wrote this out. So right now, and I posted this last night, and I posted a video last night of a series of AI generated videos showing Black women crash out over EBT benefits, right? And it's funny, but it's not funny. AI generated videos are going viral right now showing Black women yelling about losing their EBT cards, fake videos. Again, Sora 2, the culprit. Sora 2, the culprit, and they're sparking outrage. The problem that I have is that they're not just jokes, they're memes. I call it like digital racism. It is. Like digital blackface. And also the fact is that they're trying to label Black women as the face of SNAP benefits.
Which is insane.
Right.
Because it's not.
And
majority is
white people.
And elders 65 and up.
Midwest.
Yeah.
Midwest white people. But let me explain something too. So food stamps were the original name of a federal program in the 1960s to help low-income families to buy food, right? And then there's SNAP. So SNAP is Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, right? And then EBT is simply known as how people receive their SNAP benefits, right?
On the card.
So food stamps, SNAP, and EBT are all the same. But what they use today is this is food stamps for the Black people.
For the Black people, yeah.
This is SNAP benefits for the white people.
The eldest,
when people said that they were getting rid of EBT and they were getting rid of food stamps, they thought, oh, they're getting rid of Black people stuff, when they're really getting rid of everybody's shit.
Yep.
So the fact that these videos are on platforms like TikTok, where they're showing Black women, AI-generated Black women getting upset about losing their EBT. Number one, it's not even the women, Black women, who are the main beneficiaries of those things. Two, it's digital racism and digital blackface. And again, Sora 2 is the culprit of allowing these videos to be made of people in crazy situations that aren't even true. And let me clap back at a comment that I saw. Every time I post something like this, when I posted Martin Luther King and they had him jumping up and down like a monkey, people were like, don't post that. You're sharing the information. You're making the situation worse. I'm like, no, actually, I knew that Bernice King would see that. You know what Bernice King did? She called up Sora and said, stop fucking with my daddy's image, and they can't do it no more. And the reason why I did that with these is because you got to lay the pressure on Sora. You can't ignore what's
happening,
right? I'm not promoting the ignorance. I'm making people aware of it, which sparks outrage, which makes people aware of the problem, which then says Sora 2, don't allow people to make these AI generated videos of Black women.
Tricky because unless it's hurting back politically, right? Only because I just saw an article that ChatGPT, Chat AI, will no longer provide legal advice or something else. Maybe I think medical advice. To me, that's someone high up seeing an impact on their money, coming like, hey guys, you're impacting my pockets with this feature on your app. This needs to be changed. And that's somebody with a high power, with big money, going to this company saying we need this to change.
Yeah.
Until that happens with us,
no, but
I don't know if there's the power for anyone right now and for anyone to care about removing racism off any platforms. Not right now.
Well,
not with who's in office.
Let me clarify.
Do you think that's going to be?
Oh, sorry. I was clarifying on what you were saying earlier. So OpenAI pulls back. ChatGPT will no longer give medical, legal, or financial advice over liability fees.
That's what I'm saying.
There ain't liability features. They just teach people how to invest in the stock market.
Literally.
They trying to tell people how to look. This is how you invest in stock. Take these herbs. You don't need to do this. You don't need a lawyer to do this.
Listen, there's enough lawyers. And somebody high up was like, man,
messing
we
with my
lose
check.
clients. You messing with my money.
100%. The money's always.
The money is what talks. That's it. And that's what gives the people power.
But digital racism has to be addressed. And the reason why that I said nothing will change, it might not change on Sora.
Okay.
And it might not change on TikTok. But if people leave those platforms are less valuable. See, the money is in the movement as well. So like, we always go back to Jimmy Kimmel. Okay, cancel him, turn that joint off. Everybody was like, yo, you cancel Paramount, right, Noah?
I did cancel Paramount.
So when they fired,
Disney Plus.
No, I'm talking about Paramount when they laid off those CBS employees.
I actually canceled Paramount way before that. I canceled it when Stephen Colbert's show was announced to be ended.
Right.
Yeah, so I haven't had it for a while.
You can protest with your wallet, and that makes a decision. What these platforms are banking on, and they're guaranteeing that you not have the balls to make a move. They think that it's the I value. It's almost like the individual separation and the protection of what is valuable to you. You won't make a move. So that's the reason why all the NFL won't just when Colin Kaepernick came out. That's why all the NFL didn't shut down, because it's like, I got a family to feed. I can't. But literally, if all them boys sat down though, but that's my point. That's the scary part.
Yeah, but we're in a very individualistic society still.
I agree.
Like, everyone cares about themselves only. Like,
it's designed that way.
What do you mean by that?
It's what makes capitalism capitalism.
It's designed to make you say, look, I've created this life for myself. I understand that you're being affected, but I have to look out for what I've built. So especially with celebrities, that's why celebrities are the last people to jump out.
Not even celebrities. I ain't gonna lie. I have very much that mindset.
Right. Like,
I ain't gonna hold you. That's me. I'll be like, baby, I got it out the mud. You can too, but baby,
you're trying to keep
I gotta keep myself afloat.
Right. But there is a level of independence that you can build things, and you can build businesses that are separate, that no one can take away.
No one can take away from you.
And
absolutely.
That's the scary part. Like about legacy media, or even like let's say podcasting or iHeart. Right. Because I said this before. I said, what did I say? I said that they wouldn't, like, this proves that everybody's handcuffed. If I could get up here and talk about something every single day on Fanbase, a cause, the Target boycott or whatever.
Okay.
That wouldn't be allowed on iHeart, on Clear Channel, or any Cox Communications, that every day the issues that really, really matter to Black people.
It depends where in iHeart, because iHeart does have, I'm on iHeart with my podcast. Black Effect, iHeart has never said that I can or cannot say anything that I want to say on my platforms. Right,
but there's only so true. But if it became something that you did every day, say that you boys say that this is day 297 of the Target boycott every time you start your podcast, and see how long before they say, listen, can you stop talking about the Target boycott? Well, why? Target was racist against Black people. I want to talk about it. Watch how long they let you say that shit.
Interesting. I really don't think that they would have a problem.
Okay.
Me personally, I mean, and I've been under iHeart for 5 years now. But I think that that's the thing again with having I don't know, because it's my own platform, but we license it to iHeart. They
right. And you license it.
Yeah, we are licensed.
They don't own it.
No.
Right.
Okay. So I guess that's why they can't tell me what to do.
Yeah, that's the point. That's what I'm saying.
Because you straight up gangster. What are we talking about?
Okay.
You're understanding that like IP is important.
IP is like, there's power in IP.
In ownership. Absolutely.
Yes, there is.
Which is why we're telling people to invest.
Wow. I'm gonna invest now.
What a great segue to hit him one more time.
Yeah, Mandi's about to become an investor in Fanbase.
Literally right now.
Live right now on this podcast. And you should too. You should go to startengine.com/fanbase and invest. I'm going to tell you why Mandi should invest. Mandi should invest in Fanbase right now because it gives her ownership in a platform that she actually can increase the value of by using. What I mean is, Mandii B on Fanbase every day makes Fanbase more valuable. But she can do that on Instagram, she can do that on TikTok, but it doesn't affect anything by way of her ownership of stock in the company because she doesn't have equity in those companies. So if you can use your voice to actually make a platform that you use more valuable, then that's what you should go ahead and do. So that's why I'm saying, like, even to the creative community and everybody out there, you know, all these content creators, all these podcasters, all these people that are on Twitch that feel like they're not respected, and all these platforms, grab yourself some stock in Fanbase, bring your shows, your content to Fanbase. Watch how fast the platform scales past what we're doing now, even more valuable, and then watch how valuable your investment continues to be. So go to startengine.com/Fanbase and invest.
So I said to myself over the weekend, oh yeah, Isaac is going to want to talk about this next topic come recording time.
Okay.
The sound of silence, where did rap go?
Oh, start us off.
So, for the first time since 1990, there are no rap songs in the Billboard Hot 100's top 40.
Mm-hmm.
That's over 35 years without a break until now. The last few years have seen rap dominant streaming, radio, and pop culture. It's been all over the place. But this moment, I believe, signals something deeper, a shift in how hip-hop and rap is consumed, marketed, and even valued at. We're going to start off with you, Mr. Hayes. When you hear that rap has completely fallen out of the top 40, what does that tell you about the state of the culture? Adding a little note, your father is one of the most sampled artists of all time.
What it tells me is that
I'm so curious to hear your thoughts on
the
this.
Drake-Kendrick beef
I knew you were going
has
there.
collateral effects that are being felt now. Not because Drake himself, right, was holding the music industry up, but Drake would jump on records of a lot of different artists that would give them visibility and help them elevate their records to the top 40, right? So that beef in itself is a pattern of beef that I feel like has changed the culture of hip hop into something that is so adversarial that is no longer like fun. And I come from an era of hip hop where it was a lot more collaborative and fun. Even Atlanta is still remained a pretty collaborative
city. Absolutely.
It has. But I remember, I hearken to time, I was showing videos yesterday to one of my friends that showed like, what was the video? We were watching Ladies Night by Lil' Kim.
Yes.
It had Missy, the Brat.
Yep.
It had Angie Martinez. It had Lil' Kim. Had Left Eye. Queen Latifah was cameo.
The video. Yep.
Black was in the video. Escape was in the video. Changing Faces was in the video. Total was in the video. It was all women having a good old time.
Yep.
And it was a great celebration of female hip hop. You couldn't get 5 black rappers in a room together right now to look at each other. You couldn't.
Unless you were in Atlanta, but
yeah,
yes.
you could.
Yeah,
No,
you're
but,
right.
but what I'm saying is that it was fun. I showed like the Not Tonight. I mean, I showed the Give It To You remix by the Brat, where it had the Brat, it had Biggie, it had Diddy, it had T-Boz, it had Mary. We were all chilling, hanging out. One More Chance remix with Biggie. Music was a lot more. It was a lot more fun. Everybody jumped on each other's videos. They cameo. The music was a lot more positive. I think we've become very, very dark. I think the YNs, as they're called, that culture has a dead end. There is no way out of that culture, and I think that's why you're seeing the music disappear.
See, so for me, I think that it's not so dark as what you're saying. I see it as there's so many more artists that are independent now. Mm-hmm. So they don't have the labels that do the backing and the playing with the numbers, which is kind of what Drake is alleging with the lawsuit to UMG, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when you have all of these people like that own their music, that own their catalog, that are independent, they're not going to have the backing to end up on these lists or get these nominations at the Grammys. A lot of that is still all, again, back to the P word, political. And so what I find it to be is that these artists are just making more money and doing their own things instead of signing these bad deals.
I want to say that
You don't.
they're convincing, the worst thing that you can do is convince Black people that the charts don't matter. So I always say this, history don't remember who made the most money. History remembers who made the most history. So listen what I mean. So what I mean by that is, if you can convince artists, I understand that going independent is still a thing.
Is a thing, yeah.
But history's going to remember who had the most #1 records, who had the most, like Taylor Swift, the people of the world, even with Drake being one more record away from having Michael Jackson like #1 records. They're convincing people like, oh, the Grammys don't matter. Oh, these award shows don't matter. The radio charts don't matter. It's all about the bag. And it is, but it's also an art form that is competitive. If you want to be, I want to compete. That's the one thing what I loved about our era of hip hop is, put the Backstreet Boys up there and Outkast still gonna beat their ass. Like, put the best artists you got up there and we still gonna mop you. Like, we're still, like, Little John is still, like, our music is still gonna dominate the charts.
I get that, but I guess as a creative right now, and I have a few people that I can use as examples. I think impact is more important than a notch or a nominee or a number for it to be in history. And I say that because NBA YoungBoy is currently on tour. You're not going to see him much on any charts or any numbers, but what he is doing as an artist, I would say him, Big X the Plug right now, he did have a hit record that was on the charts for quite long. Rod Wave, even J. Cole. Yeah, but even J. Cole, like, you have guys that maybe don't chart or wouldn't be up in the Grammy nomination conversation or making history, but the impact that they're making, they're following. I think that's how I even think of when we talk about these independent creatives, right? So you have the conversations of Joe Rogan getting this $100 million deal, all these things. But then you have Joe making probably similar money by owning his own thing. Again, you had Joe Rogan plastered everywhere, and it wasn't until Joe leaked his numbers that anybody was talking about what he was doing. But his impact, I think, is larger. And so I think there's nothing wrong with actually telling people that their impact matters more than the accolades or where people are putting them in these imaginary lists of things. And it's because I say the same about my stuff. Would I like to be nominated more in things? I guess, sure, I guess. Yeah. But when I walk outside, when I go on tour, when I meet people that cry because of the impact I've had on their life, them goddamn awards or white people putting me on a list could matter for nothing. And so I actually think it's a benefit that we are telling Black people, bro, you don't need to be on these white people lists.
Yeah, I don't think it's not about the list stuff.
It's not a bad thing.
But it's also affecting, I think, the and it's going to lead into one of the final things we talk about, but it's going to lead into the representation of Black people in the music business, because if we're not on the charts, then the assumption is that hip hop is dead, when it's still one of the most consumed genres in the world. But I also think, and I heard Jermaine about this too, and he said that, Jermaine Dupri said that what it is a lot of these artists don't think they need radio anymore. And that's a large part of how you get on the charts. Like, I think if you break it down, I can't remember, but I know that part of what constitutes being on the Hot 100 is radio, sales, and streaming.
It's interesting now too, because I'm now in radio.
Yeah.
So the conversations in radio is that it's dying. And so unfortunately, being in now, like, behind the scenes and seeing what they're struggling with, keeping up with, the satellite radio and podcasting and how everyone has their music on their devices now, it is interesting, because to know it's a dying art form, but for someone like Jermaine Dupri to say that now people don't think they need it, kind of don't add up.
Because this is not, it would be different if everybody's songs were falling off the chart. But that's what I mean. It's only hip hop, going R&B. So my point is that we're abandoning radio, and radio is what leads to, and radio is a big component. So it's not, because a lot of these rap artists don't even make clean versions of their records no more.
Yeah, I know.
Just getting the straight there. We're not making no clean. Like what I used to love about Dr. Dre is, I'm gonna give you the clean version of What's My Motherfucking Name, and then I'm gonna give you What's My Name, and they're both gonna impact. So the hood.
I'm wondering, that's actually another conversation. I wonder if our music is becoming so vulgar that it can't.
It ain't. No, it isn't. That's what I'm saying. It's not.
Well, I disagree with that because let's go back to Beyonce. She wins country album or song of the year, right?
The Grammys didn't change.
And then the Grammys are like, we're going to add a new category. Which is the best contemporary country album and the best traditional country album. Like what? We always...
It's separated black and white.
Right.
That's what it is. That's a separation.
That's the point.
Contemporary is you niggas now coming over to goddamn country music. And then traditional is the white.
But it was always our music, right? Like Elvis. How did Elvis Presley figure out? He went and he saw the dude playing.
That
and
was
copied him.
Yeah.
Again, you are correct. But country music is an institution of itself.
Yeah.
That is very, very. I'll say racist. It's very, very isolated and racist, and they don't want people to shine in that. And when it's the genre that black people invented anyway, but it's the co-opting of now it's ours. Now this belongs to us, and so.
Oh yeah, I think Shabuzi was like the longest lasting.
Oh, they didn't try to acknowledge him at all.
No, which is crazy. He didn't
perform at the CMAs or something like that.
Insane.
He had to perform at the CMAs or something like that. But I'm like, again, but as a creative, I think those things do matter. I think the integrity. That's why I say history don't remember who made the most money. History remembers who made the most history. If it was about money, it was one thing. But if we want to change the history book and say, oh, the greatest country artists of all time were these people that were the #1 artists on the Billboard charts, even though Young Boy probably made more money, cool. And that's good for him. I granted, get your bag, but you also want to be able to say, I'm that dude. I also want people to be able to say, Joe Budden is one of the most successful podcasters ever, but I also want him to appear on the top of the charts in the same way, because that is a reflection of what people consume. That's why streaming is a big indicator of like how people consume music. Like,
I just think so many things are manipulated. Again, there's payola. Nothing is real. So for me, I guess even the fact that, and going back to them wanting to take critical race theory out of schools, freaking Trump going into the Smithsonian saying that shit don't add up to him. Like, history is also something that can be rewritten, retold, and all these things. So impact to me beats just whatever they're putting down in history. Because again, history is even rewritten. Here's
my pushback on the payola situation. They say everybody's buying bots. If that's the case, then everybody should be able to buy the bots to get them to #1. How come
everyone has the money?
No. But what I'm saying is, we know that pop artists got more money than black artists. So how is Kendrick Lamar, or how is Drake, or how are these other black artists actually coming to the top of the charts and rising higher than anybody else? And my point is, the music is just that good, and people really, really like it. If that's the case, Taylor Swift would have a #1 record all the time. She would never not. She would always be #1. All the country artists would be #1. All the white artists would be #1. Lady Gaga would be #1. Sabrina Carpenter would stay #1. But when all the levers and gears were in motion to make things happen, even in the 90s and the 2000s, black music sat at the top of the charts. Only when streaming was not counted, right? Yeah. In the late 2009s and then going into about 2013 and 14, that era is when EDM became really, really big. That's when we had Neo doing EDM.
You had Rihanna.
You had Rihanna. You had Nicki Minaj.
Yeah.
You had Usher. Everybody had to jump on that EDM wagon.
Chris Brown.
Because everybody was giving away their shit on mixtapes. Yeah, do that. And they were making black people jump through hoops to get back to sign to labels. And then once streams started getting counted, guess what? Bad and Bougie. Black Beatles. Like, we were back.
Yeah.
And again, but those songs, again, were still clean enough that everybody could listen to those records and still be a part of it. So we got to understand that we need to be making clean versions of music.
We do.
Make clean versions of those songs so that they can play on it. And that's simple. Take the same song, just make a clean version. It's also marketing and promotion. It's not hard. Like imagine if 50 Cent to make a clean version of In the Club.
Yeah. And a clean version isn't just muting yourself. Because boy, that Glorilla record on the radio don't get nothing. Like it's like what is happening?
Right. You can make clean. That's the #1 thing. First of all, it's like, if you really want to wind back on the charts, start making clean versions of your records.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, because All that, yeah, reverses and dropouts and all that.
Yeah, the muting is not an enjoyable listen.
But then we're about to harken to something else a little deeper. The representation of black people at record labels. So now the A&Rs aren't there anymore.
They're not.
And the executives aren't there anymore. So the executives aren't there to tell these young artists, this is dope. Make a clean version.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We're gonna do this. We're gonna get this feature all because they're being pushed out the labels.
Yep.
So once you remove the people that are gone, then now you got black people again. We're back fending for ourselves. And we're making the music that our community wants, but it's outside of the system.
It's outside of the system.
And then it makes it look like black music doesn't even matter anymore.
Mm. You know what? That's a good segue. How about you go and introduce the final topic?
So this bothers me.
Talk to me.
And I don't want to be, okay, so it's about the new face of R&B. So AI. So here's what. So
yes.
AI generated artist named Yana Monet just debuted on the Billboard R&B chart with her single "How Was I Supposed to Know," making one of the first times an entirely AI created performer has entered a major radio chart. This moment is being celebrated as a breakthrough for technology and music, but also raises some deeper questions. As AI artists gain traction, when we see them emerge in black music, why do we not see them in rock, country, and EDM? And that is my point that I'm making is like, okay, I think this is cool that AI can do these things, but when I get
taking money and stuff out of black artists,
pocket.
yeah, that's exactly.
So it's like now, yeah, y'all can go do the AI generated ass songs, right? And then we can wipe you black people out. So we can actually render your music and then make our own.
Well, and I think not only, which is also interesting, not only is she R&B, I believe that same AI person was topping on the gospel charts. So I think she's doing gospel music as well.
So the story behind that is a black woman that wrote poetry. And then she started using Sora 2. She uses Sora 2. Suno, I'm sorry. Suno AI. I get Sora and Suno mixed up. Suno, which is the AI music generating program to make these songs. I personally don't think the songs are good.
Me neither.
They sound like really cheesy, corny, fake R&B records.
Yeah.
I'm not knocking the woman's writing who writes the poetry. I think it's great, but those songs are trash to me. The AI generated records are trash to me because they don't have the soul or the energy and the intention of what.
I mean, if you think about it, we saw this during the pandemic as well. One of the labels, and I don't know if you could look it up, created an AI rapper.
That white guy.
And then, unfortunately, within our own creative system, our creative ecosystem, we're doing it you see what Timberland's doing.
That's but my point is because that's the point is like, it's more money to imagine being able to wipe out all of R&B by being able to pay 4 or 5 people that prompt R&B records and make them rich. And take the whole system out.
That's crazy.
So take all the writers out, producers out, take the touring out.
I will say I never thought about it being the fact that you're right. There's no AI country, no AI rock, no AI pop.
They don't talk about all this AI pop art. I mean, if the AI pop artists came out, they would automatically be the number one. There's more white people.
Yeah.
It would have the number one record. It'd be the number one AI charted song. That's my point. When Billboard wrote the article, I'm like, oh, so why y'all keep talking about this black ass AI artist?
AI artists.
Y'all, where the AI country artists at? Where the AI EDM artists at? Where the AI pop artists at?
Platform and keep showing us those things.
Yeah, talk about those.
No, they're bringing up this because she has been, and look, I'm literally calling it AI figurine, but this specific AI bot essentially has literally been on all the blogs. They're feeding her to us at this point. They literally are.
As I say, people don't be reading the fine print.
But not only that, it's so funny. Shout out to Ish, love him to death. They do sleepers on the Joe Budden pod, and he played the song not even knowing it was an AI, saying that it ended up playing on one of his playlists. And he just heard the song, had no clue, didn't even know. And so the fact that we talk about bots, we talk about algorithm streams, they're filtering this song through playlists. Who's paying for that? Because we know that you literally artists have to pay to be included in playlists. So that's really interesting that
if they have her, if there are 4 or 5 more of her, where does Kalani go?
I was about to say, if this is coming on right after Folded, right? But like in between all that,
where does Summer Walker go? right? That's my point. The agenda is to drive. So now we can just manufacture you Negroes and push you off the charts, and then all our white artists can dominate the airwaves.
And continue to make money.
Make all that radio airplay, and we're just gonna let one black person prompt and get rich off all this shit to represent all of you Negroes. And then we've managed to effectively own, because she got a record deal. They gave her like $3 million.
Literally.
Yep. I'm seeing it right now. One label offered $3 million to sign her, and then they cite a Zoom meeting with the R&B artist. I'm like, who's behind the Zoom meeting?
That's what
it's the black one. It's the black one who's prompting it.
They created it.
You see, we gotta understand. People will give you a bag. They'll get like even if you mention Timberland, like they'll give Timberland a bag to create an AI generated artist and pay him buku bucks to say stop making other black people rich.
Yeah.
Because when you're not doing that, you're not making songwriters rich.
Yep.
You're not making producers
rich.
Right. When you're prompting all this stuff now, there's no need for a mix engineer.
And we're seeing that happen as well in Hollywood.
Yeah.
We're seeing writers completely be wiped out of writers' rooms. We're seeing, it's just becoming more difficult, but it's because of that.
But that's why I say you got to look behind.
You do have to look behind.
You have to look behind the curtain, behind one more step. Like go like, okay, who's behind this artist? Who signed the artist? Right? Who's the owner of the label?
That's the thing. Even when we talk about robots, there's always people behind it. Because I'll be honest, I call ChatGPT my husband. So I am here for the advancement of AI and technology. And I think that for anyone who wants to go against it and not learn it is going to be left behind. Like it's here to stay. The same way streaming is. Like we're seeing technology grow with us. We were here before social media, and now social media is a part of everyday life. AI is going to be, unfortunately, there's people that are misusing the technology.
I'm gonna be the first person to say that I'm gonna find a way to get rid of the AI generated videos, and I don't want them on Fanbase. I want reality on Fanbase.
I'm not gonna lie. The fact that now, when I see a video, I have to go to to research or go to the comments. Or of course now Grok, you have the AI that you can ask, is this real?
Yeah.
Like the fact that you have to now research what you're seeing is like, holy shit, nothing is real anymore.
That's the problem with the EBT videos of the black women, that there was actually a woman that made a commentary of the video scolding the black woman as if it was real, and they crash on, and so she's seeing it like, it's not our problem you have 6 kids, and da-da-da-da-da, and so it's pushing the narrative. That's why I say you got to put pressure on Sora and OpenAI to stop letting them make videos of black people in that fashion. And something else that I noticed too, I've noticed everything. So I posted about that video, right? I posted about that content, and I filmed the video earlier, but when I go to the comment section of the video that I posted about the AI EBT videos, if you go to you know how Instagram hides comments?
Hides comments, yes.
If you go to unfold all the hidden comments on that caption, most of the comments are like, well, why don't they tell the truth that white people get most of the SNAP benefits?
Wait, that's in the hidden, what they're hiding?
Look, I'll go show you the video. I'll go show you the video on my phone as soon as we're done. That Instagram, the comments that Instagram is filtering are a bunch of black people saying, well, show the white people that use SNAP benefits.
Wow.
I'm telling you, bruh, these apps. These apps is taking over, dog.
They are.
It's not like I was saying this yesterday in a meeting. 15 years ago, Mark Zuckerberg needed black culture to make Instagram popular. 15 years ago, 2010, right? He needed it. He needed black culture. He needed the culture of the community, the people to do that.
Clubhouse did the same thing.
Guess what his net worth was in 2000? Okay, Google, search Mark Zuckerberg's net worth now today. I'm gonna tell you. Wait. I'm gonna start with what his net worth was. Oh, don't say it yet, Noah. Mark Zuckerberg's net worth in 2010 was $4 billion. Guess what he's worth today?
222.4
billion.
He don't need you niggas no more. He don't need Justin Bieber. He don't need Future. He don't need Snoop Dogg. He's rich. Now he don't need y'all no more.
He don't need Justin Bieber. That's a white man.
No, but I'm saying, I understand that. But I say youth. I always say youth and black culture.
Youth and black culture.
He don't need Drake.
Wow.
He don't need us no more. He don't need them skits and dances. Now he's like, I got billions of dollars to build AI. I can do whatever I want to with these platforms now. Thank you.
Wow.
But I don't need you niggas no more.
Wow.
I don't need you guys no more. And that's the point. That's why we're going to have to build up new platforms, because he went from $4 billion to more valuable than Coca-Cola in 15 years. He's worth more than Coca-Cola as a corporation.
Wait a minute. Let's see.
Fact check that.
Watch how much Coca-Cola worth. Coca-Cola worth
Almost. You almost got it. It's $296 billion.
He's almost worth more than Coca-Cola that's been around for 100 years.
200 years.
Holy fuck.
I told y'all. Y'all ain't fucking playing. Yo.
Oh, wow.
Coca-Cola came out in the 80s.
Wow.
Mark Zuckerberg is worth more than Coca-Cola in 15 years.
He's going to surpass Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
Probably in the next 5.
Elon's worth more than that now. Larry Ellison's worth more than that.
Elon's worth more than what?
Coca-Cola.
What is?
Yep, he is.
$497.4 billion.
Yeah.
500.
They don't need culture no more.
That is scary though.
They own the infrastructure.
That is scary.
That's why my black ass keeps saying infrastructure. Wow. He who owns the infrastructure has all the wealth.
Yeah.
That's why I say invest in the infrastructure. You don't think that me, you, and 50 other content creators could make in 5 years can make fan base as valuable as Instagram?
Right.
Of course we could.
Yeah.
And then when we go public on the stock market and sell all our shares, we're rich like Mark Zuckerberg in there.
Wow.
That's the play.
Wow.
Yeah, that's the plan.
Wow.
They don't need you niggas.
You open my eyes. I ain't know that.
They don't need you no more. They have billions and billions of dollars to build. Like they can buy websites now. They can buy elections. They can buy governments. That's how rich they are now. See, social media was a toy, and now it's a tool. And it was like, oh, it was a toy for y'all to make y'all skits and dances, but now this is the way the information flows to the general public. This is how people see their content, and now we control it. We needed you to make it as popular so everybody got on the platforms to use it, and now we own it, and we don't need you niggas no more.
Yeah.
So we're over time. Last statements. Remind them one more time why we're here, Mr. Hayes.
We need you at Fanbase. We need you. I need you. It's important that in this era that as culture, black culture and black people and black history is trying to be diminished, erased, squashed, eroded, manipulated, fabricated, prompted, that we build something and build spaces that are real, that have real people of all races. And let me tell you something else. I heard somebody say, I'm not going to mention his name because he's a hater, but this gentleman said, why does Isaac Hayes keep saying that Fanbase is black owned? You don't hear them say that Vine was black owned. You don't hear them say that Instagram was black owned. And the reason why that is important is because we never had them before. I'm highlighting the inequality, the fact that from Black Planet to now, there's never been a social media platform that's been anywhere near as sophisticated as Fanbase. And we built something with way less money than a lot of other platforms out here that exist. And so when we tell people to invest, that's why we tell people to invest, to own part of the culture. Go to startengine.com/fanbase and invest. Tell your friends to invest.
We're getting 151 shares.
Oh, you are? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, boom. Look at that. Look.
Ooh.
Well,
real time.
A new Fanbase investor. Mandii B is a new Fanbase investor.
$1,000 investment.
Thank you. Now I'm gonna use some math. I'm gonna educate you. So Fanbase is valued at $160 million right now. All right.
Okay.
Meta's worth $1.9 trillion. Hold on. Instagram away from Meta is a $500 billion company.
Wow.
Now, if Fanbase goes from 160 million to 160 billion, right? That's 1,000x return on your investment today. So multiply what you just did times 1,000.
151? 5,000?
No, no. How much money? How much did you spend?
1,000.
So multiply 1,000 times 1,000.
One moment. Pull it up the calculator. Even though I show this, it's gonna be just the 6 zeros. I think $1 million. Right.
So imagine being able to take $1,000 and 8 years from now, it'd be $1 million. That's the point.
Period.
That's the point. Like, oh yeah, I was investing in Fanbase. I put $1,000 out. Man, I made $1 million off that deal. Like, that's the point. And we all have the ability to control that. So again, go to startengine.com/Fanbase and invest. Be like Mandii B. Own the platforms that you use. And we will see you next week on another episode of Invested. We're out of here. Woo!
Invested.